So the tabloids thought they had their gotcha moment. They were sharpening their pitchforks, ready to paint Prince Harry as the royal who lost Africa. But guess what? The man just made the most royal comeback of all time. The story they tried to twist into a failure has just flipped into one of the biggest conservation wins of the year, and Harry's right in the centre of it. Let's talk about what actually happened. Because, as usual, the British press left out every important detail and replaced it with their usual noise. Not long ago, Chad, yes, the Central African nation, decided to pause its partnership with African Parks, the wildlife charity that Prince Harry has been deeply involved with for years. Now, tabloids made it sound like Harry personally packed up his car keys, ignored a herd of elephants, and walked away from conservation. Spoiler alert, he didn't. The whole thing was an administrative hiccup between the government and the organisation. And now, guess what? They're back together and stronger than ever. Chad has officially reinstated its partnership with African Parks to manage two of the country's most iconic reserves, Zakuma National Park and the Anedi Natural and Cultural Reserve. These are not just any parks, they're living testaments to Africa's beauty, biodiversity and resilience. So yes, the organisation that Harry helped put on the global map is once again taking charge of these natural treasures. Now, let's pause for a second. Can we talk about the irony here? When the agreement was suspended, the British media went into overdrive, acting like Harry was personally responsible for every mosquito in the park. They ran headlines suggesting that the Prince's African dream had collapsed. Yet, the moment things are resolved and African Parks is back in action, those same outlets suddenly lose their Wi-Fi connection. Crickets, because they don't want to admit they were wrong. Again. Here's what really happened. African Parks and the Chadian government had a disagreement, a temporary one, about investment levels and coordination. Chad accused the organisation of being arrogant and not doing enough to combat poaching. But rather than throw punches, African Parks did what true professionals do. They sat down, had honest dialogue, and worked it out. That's called leadership, not failure. And Harry's fingerprints are all over that kind of calm, diplomatic approach. The joint statement released this week said it best. Both sides have renewed their partnership in a spirit of dialogue and cooperation. Translation: we're good now, and we've got work to do. African Parks will continue to manage the reserves, protect wildlife, and support the communities that live around them. That's what this has always been about. Not headlines, but impact. Peter Fernhead, the CEO of African Parks, called it a milestone, a testament to resilience and collaboration. He said the renewed partnership creates a stable foundation for safeguarding Chad's extraordinary landscapes and the communities that depend on them. That's exactly the kind of vision Prince Harry has championed for years, protecting nature and empowering people. Now, for those who don't know, African Parks isn't some random NGO. It's a world-class conservation powerhouse that manages 20 national parks across 12 African countries. That's huge. Their mission? Restoring ecosystems, stopping poaching, and creating sustainable jobs for local communities. And Harry isn't just a celebrity mascot for them. He's been hands-on. He served as their president and now sits on their board, continuing to guide and advocate for their projects. You know, what's truly beautiful about Harry's work with African Parks is that it's not performative. He doesn't show up for a photo op and disappear. He's been in the mud, quite literally, helping relocate endangered elephants, working with rangers, and speaking out against poaching long before it became trendy. This man walks the talk, while others just talk and pose for glossy magazine covers. And yet the haters never miss an opportunity to twist the narrative. Remember when they said Harry abandoned his royal duties? Yeah, well, he's out here doing more for the planet than the entire royal family combined. While some are busy cutting ribbons at garden parties, Harry's out there helping to save entire ecosystems. The man swapped palace corridors for elephant trails, and that's a trade-up in my book. Here's what really burns the tabloids. Harry doesn't need royal approval to make global impact. His work stands on its own. African Parks isn't his side gig. It's a major part of his identity. He's passionate about conservation because it's personal. Africa has always been his healing space, the place he turned to for peace after his mother's death, and where he found purpose beyond the crown. And now, years later, that same continent continues to embrace him back. And let's not forget, Meghan Sussex has also supported Harry's conservation work from the beginning. The couple's joint commitment to the environment isn't about PR, it's about legacy. While others are worried about how to polish a family crest, these two are out here protecting lions, rhinos, and elephants. It's called perspective, something their critics seriously lack. What's funny is how the same media that screams hypocrisy every time Harry and Meghan take a flight conveniently forget that African Parks has helped cut illegal poaching by more than 90% in some regions. Their work saves thousands of animals each year. That's measurable change. But I guess Harry Saves Africa Again doesn't sell as many angry tabloids as Harry's conservation crisis, does it? And look, even the so-called royal experts, you know, the ones who claim to know what Harry had for breakfast in California, went quiet when this news broke. Suddenly, no tweets, no smug commentary, no fake outrage. Why? Because Harry won. Again. He did the thing they said he couldn't. He brought the focus back to conservation, partnership, and progress. And that's what leadership looks like. Quiet wins that speak louder than gossip. At this point, it's safe to say Prince Harry is rewriting what it means to be royal. You don't need a title or taxpayer-funded spotlight to make a difference. You just need purpose. And that's exactly what he and Meghan Sussex have. Purpose, passion, and persistence. Whether it's through Archewell, African Parks, or Invictus Games, they continue to put action over appearances. So, while some folks in the British press are busy clutching their pearls and screaming into microphones about protocol, Harry's helping protect endangered elephants. I mean, who's really doing the king's work here? Because last I checked, compassion, courage, and service were supposed to be the royal family's core values. Harry just happens to actually live by them. Let's give this man his flowers. He's proven, time and again, that you can't cancel someone who's genuinely doing good. You can spread all the lies you want, but impact speaks for itself. And right now, his work in Africa is speaking volumes. So, congratulations to Prince Harry and the African Parks team for this huge win. The world sees you. The animals thank you. And the haters? Well, they can go back to writing fiction in the Daily Mail.